Hello everyone, Christian here. Improving website speed is very important to increase conversion on your site, but there are several factors impacting your speed, some of which you can't even control. Let's talk about website speed. We've actually made several videos on how to increase your website speed on Shopify and some things that you can actually physically do. But we feel like there may be some misinformation out there in regards to having a perfect score. Spoiler alert, there's no such thing. Also, you can check out the videos that we've done before. Towards the end of the video, we'll let you know how to access those. Now, your online store is made up of a set of features such as the theme code, apps, images, videos, carousels, Instagram feeds, and analytics. These features can contribute to your overall customer experience and extend the capabilities of your actual online store. Each feature you add, though, on your online store, it needs a network, or hardware resources to actually function correctly. And some of these features need more resources than others. So adding a new feature can have a noticeable effect on the speed of your online store. So that's something to consider. So when adding a feature to your store, you should weigh the benefits of the feature against its impact to the speed of your store. So you might need to make some speed trade-off, and build a user experience that leads to more sales. Now, that being said, factors that you absolutely cannot control, and I do want to touch on these because whenever you are running these speed tests, and you can do these speed tests on Google, GTmetrix, even Shopify itself, which I believe they use Google Lighthouse, they show you several things that you need to fix, but at the end of the day, those are things that you can't really fix and you can't control. So I do want to touch on these factors that you can't control when it comes to these tests, when you're running these tests. So number one is your customer's device, network, and location, Your site will load differently depending on all those things. And there's absolutely nothing you can do about it, Even from my phone, which I'm on T-Mobile, versus Franklin's phone, which he might be on AT&T, doing it right here, right now in the same location, but just having different networks, that's gonna affect differently how the website loads. So there's nothing really you can do about those two instances. Obviously, there's all the other instances where I'm on my phone here in Allen, Texas with T-Mobile, and someone else is in California using a Mac laptop with Chrome on Ethernet, for example. So those types of things you can't control. Now, second is the Shopify infrastructure. They actually do a pretty good job of making sure that they use fast global servers, and they also don't limit your bandwidth. So anywhere around the world, your website should load pretty quickly. But that also comes with some things that you can't change on the server side of things, So because Shopify has control of the server side, then that means that you can't make any changes on the server side. So for example, if you're running a speed report on GTmetrix, and GTmetrix have certain parameters or what they consider best practices when it comes to maybe cached files. But Shopify might be using different parameters within their servers just to ensure that everyone, is able to load correctly and quickly and all that stuff. So that would result in a lower speed score in GTmetrix just because the two don't agree or follow the same guidelines. So you'll see that actually a lot. Google in particular, they have some guidelines that are just kind of out there that if you run the speed test for Google itself or for a Google related website, they don't even follow those same guidelines. And you'll see that their speed tests on, I don't know, let's say like a Google product, that you're looking at their website, they might not even follow the guidelines that they actually put forth on those speed reports. So just keep that in mind, that if you're trying to chase this perfect score, all these speed test apps out there, they have their own guidelines, they have their own set of parameters to what they agree, on what's the ideal score for your store. Hey, before we move on, I just want to say bienvenidos. My name is Christian Piñon, one of the co-founders here at Rain. We're an e-commerce growth agency that specializes in helping clothing stores grow and scale profitably online. We drop new videos every week, so make sure that you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Obviously, if you're feeling that this is a really good, high quality content for you, then do that. If not, you don't have to subscribe. Okay, now let's go into factors that you can control. So number one is going to be the themes. We actually made a ton of videos on themes and some of our recommendations when it comes to themes. So please check them out right here. Now, themes are made up of liquid HTML, CSS, and JavaScript code. So when you edit or customize themes, file sizes can increase and affect your store speed. If you think that something in your theme is slowing down your store, then you need to take the following steps. One, disable those theme features that you don't use. So consider a balance between online store features and actual speed. This is something that we talk about constantly. If you're wanting to add, maybe the theme that you're using currently, maybe has some kind of carousel, right? That goes over 10 different images. That feature might be costing you a lot when it comes to speed tests. So I would test it out. Leave that feature on, do the tests, then turn the feature off, run the tests again, and see how it affects your store. Other things that you can do is try installing a theme built for performance, like Dawn. Dawn is one of the newer free themes by Shopify, and you can install that and you'll see results just from switching from your previous theme to Dawn. Obviously, Dawn doesn't have a lot of the extra features that the premium themes have, but if speed is something that is really important for you, then Dawn would be something good. Beyond that, theme or app features. So certain features, again, when enabled, might affect your store speed. So for example, quick view pop-ups, preload information from every product page when a collection page loads. So that's gonna add, again, extra loading time for your store because it's trying to find all those images to do the preload on that section. Another thing that you can do is use a heat map tool to see if customers are actually using certain features on your theme or certain apps, right? So before we were talking about the theme as a whole, right? There may be things as a theme as a whole, but now if you're getting a little bit more granular on the theme features or app features that you're using and you're not certain if customers are using them or not, use a heat map tool, and that'll allow you to actually record so you're able to see if people are actually using those features or they're not even being used. So for example, something like a wish list app, that might not be being used right now. Check and see with the heat map tool to see if that's working. We do recommend Hotjar, so if you want to try out Hotjar for free, check out the link below. Now, speaking of links below, we also want to recommend using TripleWell. TripleWell is something that all of our clients and group coaching members are using right now. And this powerhouse of the tools allows us to see LTV for our customer for 30, 60, and 90 days. But what we're most excited about is the estimated action of customers. So it allows you to sort of predict, right? Imagine being able to send out emails or run ads to customers who are actually likely to buy from you a second or third time, and knowing when to send out those marketing messages. It's so powerful. TripleWell centralizes all these metrics from all these tools you use right into one place. They simplify, inform, and save you time. So again, check that link in the description below if you're wanting to increase conversions on your site and know the data to make the right decisions. Okay, then number 3, apps. When you add apps to change the functionality or appearance of your online store, they also add in code, right, into the theme. Some of this code can be removed or reordered to improve your online store performance. Now, if you think that an app is slowing down your store, then you need to take these following steps. You need to disable the app features that you don't use and remove the app if you don't need it. We actually see this a lot where customers maybe install 3 different apps that are the same. That's like maybe the Instagram feed, right? And they install 3 and they're just using 1, but they left the other 2 in there. That's code that's being added to your store that's slowing down your store. So make sure that they're apps that you're not using, you're confirming that they're not using, you're not paying for them, and then deleting them. And then also consider going in depth and deleting the code left behind by some of these apps, even after you delete them. So you need to consider the balance between online store features and your speed. Hey, if you like what you see, please consider clicking on that like button. So another thing that you can actually change, right? That you actually, it's a factor that people are consciously need to make sure that you're paying attention to is images and videos. Oversized images and images that are hidden from view can interfere with loading, right? So if users have to wait for large images to load, they might perceive your store as being slow. So we talked about this before. So if you're interested in making sure that you're using the best, right, the most optimized images for your store, make sure to check out this video right here. That will teach you a little bit about images in general, but that's something very important. Shopify does a pretty good job, right, at optimizing images, but you can also do a few more things. Now, if you take anything out of this video, is that website speed is something that you constantly need to be working on. It's a balance, again, between speed and functionality. And knowing that there are things outside of your control when it comes to speed, and that chasing a perfect score can be detrimental to your website's user experience. You might end up stripping your store of crucial functionality that is actually making you real money in exchange for just a random number that some outside third-party company is telling you. So you'd be surprised at the amount of stores we've seen making millions of dollars and have a speed score of 16 according to Shopify. So again, work on it constantly, work on some of the points that we talked about in this video, and don't chase that perfect score. See you on that.